Sentire Media.
Welcome to the Stop Italian Sounding podcast, uncovering authentic Italian food. I'm your host, Robert Campana, and join me as we delve into the rich heritage of genuine Italian food, exploring its legends, history, and traditions. Through important tips and insightful interviews with industry professionals, you'll gain a deeper understanding of authentic Italian food. Welcome back, everyone, to the Stop Italian Sounding Show, uncovering authentic Italian food. So today, I'm here with two guests that I follow a lot on social media. And if you follow a lot of Italian content as well, they most likely have appeared more than one time on your feed. Again, I'm a huge fan of this husband and wife duo, which blends Sicilian heritage with Italian-American spirit. So let's see if you know exactly who I'm talking about. He was born and raised in Sicily, is deeply connected with his roots, passionate about history, traditions, and great food. And she is an Italian-American with a love for storytelling and culture, brings creativity and energy and a fresh perspective to everything that they do. And together they share a life filled with family, faith, and adventures, always seeking to inspire and connect with others through their journey. And of course, I am talking about the very famous Santi and Dara. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Robbie.
Grazie, Robbie.
Thank
Grazie.
you. We are happy to be here. This is actually our first podcast. We've never done anything like this.
Yeah.
Ah, really? Okay. All right. So this is going to be a fun time then. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Hopefully Santi doesn't embarrass me.
No, why? You embarrass me, maybe.
You're the Italian at this current moment drinking a matcha latte.
Sto bevendo un matcha latte like espresso. Instead of l'espresso, il caffè.
Basta che sia buono. That's important.
È completamente diverso, no? È un'altra musica.
You're a traitor.
Certo.
Credo.
Grande. So if you could just take a minute or two just to describe, how you got to the point that you're at now. How did you two meet? Dada, I know you're an Italian-American. You moved to Italy. So if you could kind of just fill us in about your background, both of your backgrounds.
Okay. Do you want me to go first or you want to go first?
Come ci siamo incontrati?
Yes.
Can I speak with my language, Italian or Siciliano?
Whatever you want. It's totally
Whatever you
no
want.
problem. I want you to be you.
Io ho incontrato Dorotea grazie alla sua mamma, in realtà. Ok, because his mom, la sua mamma mi conosceva dall'estate precedente.
His mom?
Her
mom.
Ok, la sua mamma mi aveva notato l'estate precedente perché io facevo il lifeguard nella spiaggia di Cefalù. Facevo il bagnino. Sua mamma?
My mom remembered Santi from the year before. Oh, okay, can I tell this story?
Vai.
Okay,
Vai.
I'm a little bit more organized.
Il matcha latte io.
Okay, so we had come here on a family vacation in 2015, and it was like 11, 12 of us, my nonni, all my Sicilian side, pretty much. My brother, my uncle, cousins, my mom. And we went to this beach near Cefalù that my mom remembered from the last time she was here. She was here a year before us. And she saw Santi. We got set up at the beach. She saw Santi. She goes, I remember that guy because he's so, like, he has blonde hair. He doesn't look like a typical Sicilian, And so,
Maybe she was remember le mortadelle.
no, she was on your chest, okay? But maybe my mom is little. My mom is a little pazza.
Possono vederci?
Huh? No, they can't see.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So she goes, oh, I remember that guy. Hey, vieni qua. Come si dice? Vieni qua.
Vieni qua. Per caso puoi portare mie figlie stasera a ballare?
Ah,
Io non credevo alle mie orecchie. Ma
l'ha portata a ballare?
certo, mi ha detto, puoi portare mie figlie a ballare? A me lo dici? Io ero un Latin lover in quell'anno, acchiappavo tutto.
Bravo. So you took her out to dance that night.
Exactly.
So we made plans because I didn't have a cell phone or we didn't have WhatsApp. This was 10 years ago. So
That's crazy how the world changed in 10 years. Totally.
yeah,
Wow.
because Americans didn't really have WhatsApp.
Right.
There was a Viber. Do you remember Viber?
I do. I've never used it, but I do remember. Yes.
Very similar
Questo
to
purple
WhatsApp.
icon. C'è una purple icon.
Yeah.
Yes. Purple icon. Yeah.
So I don't know. We just didn't exchange info. So he's like, okay, let's meet in front of Malik, this one beach bar. And throughout the day, my mom was like, "Ugh, I'm getting tired," but I needed my mom to drive me because the car that we had was a stick shift, and I don't know how to drive stick shift. You know how it
Uh-oh.
is here.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Growing up in the United States, I know how to drive stick shift. I'm in Italy, and I'm a handicap at that point. I can't do
Yes.
anything.
So so my mom's like, I'm getting tired. I don't want to take you. I'm like, Mom, you have to take me. This poor guy's waiting. Whether or not I just felt bad. I didn't even really, I was just like, whatever. He's cute, but like whatever. Um, please take me. She goes, all right. All right. So she drops me off. She's doing her own thing. And then luckily we went because he was already waiting in front of this beach bar,
I was ready.
which happened to be closed.
Oh no, Rob.
And yeah, and then we just like were walking in Cefalù and like hitting it off. What made me fall in love with Santi was he has the heart of a Siciliano, but the mind of kind of like a Westerner, like us Americans, just really open-minded.
Gotcha.
And do you want to say what happened?
It was a strategy.
It was a strategy.
Yeah, it was a strategy that worked apparently because Dara, you've been living in Sicily for how long? You've been living in Sicily for how long now? It was a strategy that worked, Santi, right?
Sì,
Almost
Ha
just
funzionato
about 10 years.
benissimo.
sì, ha funzionato benissimo.
How long have
So,
you been living in Sicily, Dara?
Just about 10 years.
10 years. Wow. So, I mean, I'm sure it has totally shaped the way you view the world now. 10 years you've been there through a pandemic even. I mean, you've seen so many different things
Yeah.
and your both of your backgrounds are a mix of Sicilian and Italian American influences. So, I mean, it's a very interesting combination because here in the United States, we have a lot of Sicilian Americans that live here and people who are very proud of their Sicilian roots. So what you guys do on social media really hits home for a lot of Italian Americans. So how has all of this shaped your relationship with food and traditions? Because I speak a lot about food, obviously, on my social media pages. So how has all of this shaped your relationship with food and traditions?
You mean like us being together?
Yeah, you being together, Dada, you living there, you bringing your Italian American mindset, if you will, and seeing the differences between how things really are in Italy compared to, how they are here in the United States or how we perceive them to be in Italy.
So I think this is hard because Rob, I grew up Italian. I mean, my nonni, my mom is Sicilian. We grew up with the same traditions in San Diego. So, and my nonno was very, very picky with my nonna. Like he would not accept certain foods with my nonna. And so when we came here, I mean, Santi's open-minded.
sì, perché poi se mangi
But
sempre pasta e pizza, hai bisogno di qualcuno che viene da una cultura completamente diversa come Dorotea e ti fa assaggiare lo spaghetti col ketchup.
that was a joke.
I hope she didn't do that.
I did, but that was a joke.
Hai fatto
Of
tu,
course,
anche
of
altri.
course.
Um,
What
he
about has she ever broken the spaghetti in front of you? I think I saw that video a few times.
Oh, this was my breaking heart. Ancora ora se ci penso, non si può. I can't
Ha
take it.
spezzato pure il cuore, è spezzato.
Sì, l'ha spezzato, spaghetti e cuore insieme.
so he's open-minded, but he does have his limits with food. And I think where the limit is like where we do all this like American schifezza.
Of course ho limit
You
on
know,
food, non puoi
like-
mettere ketchup nella pasta.
Yeah, but like if I start adding cream and just like over seasoning stuff, this is where he's like, okay, enough. I just want simple.
So
Calm
that leads me to my next question. How would you characterize it like a Sicilian cuisine? We can't say Italian food because Italian food doesn't really exist. It's more Sicilian food or
Yeah.
even the specific city that you live in. So fresh ingredients, simple things that you eat. I see a lot of the stuff that you even cook, Dada. How would you specifically characterize it? Even the use of olive oil, which we spoke about a few days ago as well.
So I have learned to cook simply. The simpler, the better. And because the food here, I don't know, it's like everybody says the food here is different because it is. It is. Unfortunately, I don't know what's in the soil, how they're growing it, how Monsanto hasn't gotten their hands on like the seeds here yet, or maybe I think there's they have in certain circumstances, but when you're in a small Sicilian village, you still have the farmers growing with like original seeds from decades ago.
Right, right. And I've seen things that you've posted, like even just going in and buying fresh produce and developing relationships with those people that sell it to you, and that makes a big difference. Like knowing the people who actually grow or produce that product, there's a human element as well, and that plays a huge role as to how also you perceive food.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say that here it's just all natural flavors, right? Just semplice, and you're using herbs to flavor your food instead of creams, instead of like lots of cheese. I mean, you just
Esatto.
there's some cheese, but
we don't want to cover the flavor of food because here the flavor is natural. Quindi we
Right.
don't want to put cream, a lot cheese, or something else to cover il cibo naturale, autentico della
That's
Sicilia.
Esatto.
That's why like seafood pasta, you never put cheese on that because it really covers the taste. Never.
Right. Exactly. Something you never do. And another big thing that specifically in your area, olive oil. Olive oil is like Sicilian olive oil is great. So I know the other day we were messaging back and forth. You said you have a friend that produces olive oil.
Yeah, we know a lot of people that produce.
Oh, I'm sure
Everybody produces.
That is true, I guess. Yeah.
Every family really there's somebody that's producing olive oil. For example, Santi's dad produces. Hold on, let me show you.
Sure. I love it. In the big typical Italian water bottle, long water bottle, filled up with extra virgin olive oil. This reminds me of me going to the house. I should say, my family's from Molise. So I remember, putting things together and throwing it in my luggage in that exact bottle and taping the top so it doesn't open.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
that's the way to do it. I love it.
So his dad's olive oil is great. I use it for frying. I use it like for cooking, but the olive oil is our favorite, our local Vivace, our friends in Agrigento, they use an olive called Biancalilla, and there's just something very special about this taste of this olive.
That's a great olive.
What's that?
It's a great olive.
It's a great olive.
Yeah.
It's very delicate.
Yeah. And that specific area of Sicily, Agrigento, there's so much history as well. How far are you from the temples of Agrigento? Probably not too far.
2 hours, 2 hours and a half.
2.5 hours. We're talking about thousands of years of history in Sicily and olive oil production as well. So you're drinking history with that.
It's true.
We drink history.
You're drinking history. That's what Sicily tastes like when you drink it.
Yeah, è vero, bravo.
Yes.
Molte cose noi siciliani nemmeno le percepiamo. That's why Sicilians won't go away from Sicily, because they don't understand the really prezioso, quanto è preziosa la terra della Sicilia, l'opportunità che avrebbero di lavorare qui, di valutare la terra, i suoi prodotti naturali, è incredibile.
Esatto.
Vanno via, scappano.
Esatto. But then when they do recognize the history, the tradition, all of the great things that make Sicily what it is, then they start to appreciate it too as well.
Yeah.
You know? So food is it's an emotional thing, I would say. It's an emotional thing. It's a nostalgic part of our culture, I would say. So are there any specific dishes that instantly bring you back to your childhood? Sicilian dishes or any special memories that bring you back to your childhood?
Cosa mi ricordo quando ero bambino?
What type of food?
Che tipo di food?
Un piatto, un prodotto.
Mia mamma e mia nonna. Allora, fammi pensare un attimo. Mia mamma mi faceva sempre la pasta con l'uovo.
La pasta con l'uovo.
Da dentro.
A proposito di semplicità, la pasta con l'uovo.
La pasta semplicissima, ma buonissima. Ancora mi ricordo quel sapore. Che tornavo dalla scuola, arrivavo a casa e c'era questa pasta con l'uovo là dentro, cucinato dentro la pasta. Le calorie, sì.
Grande.
Buonissimo.
Grande. What about you, Dara? Growing up, you said you grew up in San Diego, right?
Yes. But my nonni were very Sicilian. Okay, there's three. I'm going to say these three.
Go ahead.
My
I know it's
nonna,
hard to choose sometimes.
I know, but yes, my nonna made a bolognese that had carrots in it. Carrots and peas slightly chopped up. Here, they don't, in his town, in the town that we live in near Cefalù, they don't use carrots and peas. It's just ground beef. But there was something really good about my nonna's. And then the other one was fried dough. And then they put, after it's done, they roll it in sugar.
Ah,
What's
okay.
it called? Come si chiama questo? Non sfinci?
Ah,
Fried.
Pa-
I'm thinking of like castagnola. Maybe they're not castagnola. It's a little different than castagnola. Are they like round or they're fried and rolled in sugar?
Yeah,
sì,
no, they're
They're
not.
so.
They're not
sì,
sfinci.
sì,
No. But it's like bread almost.
sì. Ah,
The one that we tried at Polina.
ho capito.
Okay, and then
There's so many fried desserts all throughout Italy. They're similar, but then they all have different names according to the town. You know, I think of
exactly,
like a chiacchiere everywhere. They're called with
Cacchio.
different words. You know, even
exactly.
though that's not what you're talking about. That was the first thing that came to mind, though.
And then the last are mandarini.
Ah, mandarini.
Mandarini, yeah, because here in Sicily, it's such a huge. Everybody
I'm
has mandarini trees.
I'm so envious of the mandarini and the oranges that you have in Sicily, and even like the arance rosse, the red oranges, the blood
Sì,
oranges that you have. Like you probably make the best spremute.
sì.
Yes, but this is another thing, Robbie. This like the olive oil. Here, it's taken for granted.
Is it? People are just like, ah, yeah, whatever. It's a arancia rossa. It's like to me, it's if I found arancia rossa one time in my supermarket, I paid an arm and a leg. I'm like, I don't care. I'm buying them because they're so good. I made the best spremute, but like you said, it's something that people take for granted.
I mean, it's like how many of those can you have though? You're gonna have them. You're gonna have them every day. You know, for how
So
long? For
you're.
months?
I see that you became Italian with that comment. That was very. What are you going to have them every day? I mean, we're so used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I guess they're grown. They're grown everywhere. I lived a year in Italy, in the north, in the provincia di Varese, when I did my master's in international business at La Cattolica di Milano. So I was able to get obviously, really good things, and amongst which also the arance rosse from Sicily. So I just remember being there. Unfortunately, I was there during the pandemic and I was closed inside. So making my spremute, doing whatever I have to do, but always good ingredients. And that's one of the reasons why I started the page that I did, Stop Italian Sounding, because when I came back to the United States, I didn't want to, fare la spesa. I didn't want to go to the supermarket. I didn't want to do any of that stuff because I was so used to, all of the good products I had within Italy. So I started the page Stop Italian Sounding. And that's one of the reasons why. So trying to educate people on real versus Italian sounding, if you will. But yeah. So what do you think is one underappreciated Sicilian dish? I guess maybe this could be a question for Santi. Un piatto sottovalutato siciliano.
Underappreciated from the Sicilian.
Yes.
Un piatto sottovalutato. Mm.
È difficile.
È difficile perché, lo sai perché è difficile? Perché c'è tanto oro e non lo apprezziamo spesso.
Esatto. We go
Cioè,
back
poi-
not appreciating all
no,
the gold
no,
that we have.
lo apprezzano gli stranieri. Chi viene dall'America e viene a vivere in Italia, allora fa oro di quello che c'è qui. Ma noi siciliani siamo così, come i cavalli con i paraocchi. Sì,
Esatto.
non
Certo.
lo vediamo.
In English we say it's like a tunnel vision, It's tunnel vision and you don't know
Sì,
because
sì.
you're so used to it. Dara, what do you say?
What's one dish? What is it?
Che cosa?
Okay, ask me the question.
Vediamo.
One
Ask
one one
Capito?
one underappreciated Sicilian dish. What do you think it would be?
Un piatto un
Because
ah,
Sicilian cuisine is so well known even here in the United States. In fact, we call it Sicilian pizza, but it's not Sicilian pizza. It would be lo sfincione for you guys.
o Fingione a Palermo,
Lo
sì,
Okay,
sì,
sfincione.
sì.
this is
This
probably.
one then.
I don't know if this is it because, like Santi said, I just think a pasta just with a simple sauce is very underappreciated, and people, especially in America, don't understand what it really tastes like. Pasta con sugo.
Sì, la semplicissima pasta col
La
sugo.
pasta con sugo.
You know,
Finito con un basilico sopra e forse un po' di ricotta fresca.
perché è facile.
Ricotta fresca. I think that's your answer. Ricotta fresca.
Brava,
That has
bravo.
because here in the United States, ricotta is not really ricotta because we actually call it like ricotta cheese, even though it's technically not considered a cheese because it's made with the siero del latte, the whey from the milk. But anyway, fresh ricotta has to be very underappreciated because if
È
you've had
quello.
it, you'll never go back to the other stuff. Has to be 100% on fresh, things that are in season as well, which, I mean,
Like the other day we was in montagna, siamo andati a trovare un pastore
mhm.
che stava facendo la ricotta fresca. Ce l'ha offerta così a noi, ai bambini, noi l'abbiamo mangiata come se era scontata, era normale.
Exactly.
Invece era fantastico quel momento. Siamo andati a 2000 metri di altezza, in mezzo alle pecore, in mezzo alla cacca delle mucche. Sì, c'era questo uomo che ogni mattina fa la ricotta fresca per poi la vende. Però in quel momento era un momento così genuino, così vero.
My gosh, so good. And I
Poi,
think you posted a video about that too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we
sì,
did.
l'hai fatto, figlio.
Yes,
Believe
yes.
it or not, I don't like the ricotta like that.
Oh, you don't?
No, it's something I can make. I like ricotta if you like put it in pasta or like with lasagna or something. But
She's American.
I can't do the heebie-jeebies. Warm, like curdy milk in my mouth.
Meglio, con i vermi. Perfetto.
Ognuno al suo, così come
Sì,
dico io.
ognuno ha il suo.
So you just said she's American. So I would like to pick your brain a second, Dara. You've been living in Italy for 10 years. Obviously, you're becoming Italian, if you will, but there has to be a part of the United States that you miss, or maybe a part of American food or culture or whatever it is. I think you just posted recently about you had your fix of Mexican food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how one would miss that,
Yeah. By
especially
far,
from Southern
by
California.
far, Mexican food is the thing I miss the most. I have to tell you guys, there are times where I think that Mexican cuisine is better than Italian.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Andale, arriba.
It's just because I grew up with it in Southern California. And, because Mexicans, I always say Mexicans are very similar, or Sicilians are very similar to Mexicans. They're very family oriented, and the way they cook with so much love.
Yes.
And like the nonnas, the abuelas in Mexico, like it's.
Vuoi mettere la cucina italiana con la messicana? Ogni regione d'Italia ha una specialità. Vai a Bologna, vai a Parma,
It's true,
vai
I know.
in Piemonte, vai in Val d'Aosta.
Certo.
There's a freshness, like what we were saying, to Italian food, but Mexican food is very good, Sarah. Real Mexican food, not just like burritos and tacos and quesadillas.
Penso che è sempre la stessa cosa, non c'è l'Italia è famosa perché c'è un microclima così vasto, così appunto grande, che ogni
Exactly. The biodiversity within Italy is so different wherever you go. Even within Sicily, in a small geographical area, you could go up in the mountains, for example, like you were just saying, and then come back down, and you have totally different terroir, which produces different things. But Dara, I think you also hit the nail on the head when you said family-oriented, relationship-oriented. That shows within the cooking as well. The secret element, they say, is love. And I guess that's why you're so also attracted to Mexican cuisine and Mexican food, even given the fact that you grew up in Southern California. So that makes sense. You probably had some good things to eat.
Thank you, Rob, for defending the leadership of Italy.
Yes, the leadership, exactly, absolutely. Forza Italia. So you both created a big social media presence. You create content that educates and entertains and teaches. So what's next for both of you? What are you guys doing? What's next up with your? What are the big plans for Santi and Dara?
Now we want to move. We want che i nostri follower diventano parte del nostro viaggio. Vogliamo che la nostra famiglia. Vogliamo veramente portarli qui in Sicilia a fargli scoprire le bellezze nascoste.
So are you gonna run tours? You are running tours, if I'm not mistaken.
We are starting our first tour in May 27th. It's a 9-night, 10-day tour. We're putting it all together, and I didn't expect it to be sold out within a week.
Wow!
Complimenti. I had to get all the resources together, and now we have a website going up soon in April That way we can offer more tours in September and October.
Awesome. Awesome. And once you get that website, you have to shoot it over to me so I could share it with my followers as well. And I think people will really, really appreciate that. Awesome. So how could people get in contact with you, follow your work? I know a lot of them probably already do follow you on Instagram and TikTok and your social medias, but is there anything else that you want them to know about how they could get in contact with you specifically?
We're really responsive on Instagram. Well, I look at every DM. I don't respond to everyone because some of them are just like, they don't really say much.
Right.
But if
Of course.
it merits a response, I definitely 100% respond. So I would say DM me on Instagram, or send me an email, but it's okay. I prefer DMing on Instagram.
DM on Instagram, of course, and I'll put your Instagram in the show notes as well for this episode. So people, if they don't follow you, definitely should start to follow you. Awesome, and I hope one day maybe we could even meet in Sicily as well, because I know I'm always in Italy, and I'm just either I'm in the north or the center or the south. I'm going over here because my thing is following and finding producers and showcasing that. So, and I know in Sicily they're all over the place, so it'd be great to meet in person as well one day. Would be fun.
Do you have any trips coming up?
Not specifically planned. I do want to come in the summer. I just don't have anything specifically planned yet. I'll start working on that soon, but I'm sure you guys will see, and I'll let you know if I'm in Sicily, and we could definitely do something.
We'd love to.
Would be fun.
Yeah.
Sì.
Awesome. Well, I want to be respectful of your time. I know you have kids that are about to wake up. We have different times. I'm thinking it's 9:30 over there, but you do have kids to attend to. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what you're gonna post on social media in the coming days. And again, thank you very much. This was fun.
Thanks,
Grazie
Robbie.
a te.
Grazie mille, grazie. Buon weekend.
Grazie.
Thank you for joining me on this journey through the stories of authentic Italian cuisine. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast for more insights and interviews. Also, feel free to reach out with your thoughts or questions on our social media channels at Stop Italian Sounding or on our website, stopitasounding.com. Grazie a tutti e alla prossima.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.